Yo, what's going on, guys? Clutch back again with another video for you guys, and today it is going to be another tactics video. It's one of the best formations on the game. It's absolutely incredible, and the tactics are just as good. We went 20-0 with this team with it this weekend, and I'm super excited to share it with you. Before we do get into it, if you haven't already, please drop a like on the video. If you haven't already, please drop a comment as well if you have any questions down below, and please drop a sub. We did hit 4.5k today, so thank you very much for that, but we are aiming for 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It would be a massive achievement for me, and I would really appreciate it. Also, if you are interested, I do run a coaching Patreon / Discord. We've got a few people in there now as well. You can join for as little as £5 a month. It can be up to £100 depending on how many coaching sessions and things like that you want to buy. But yeah, link is down below if you are interested. So we're going to get straight into it. It is the 4-2-2-2. One of the best formations in the game. Basically a more narrow version of the 4-4-2, and a formation that I love using this year. The defensive style is unbalanced. For me, with this formation, I just don't really want to use press tactics. I wouldn't be mad at maybe using a press after possession loss. But just for me, with the way I'm trying to play at the minute, I'm just not using the press tactics, especially with the 71 depth. I just don't really feel like it's needed. Especially on this game, you just don't really need to. They kind of just run around a bit crazy, and with the players being a bit slower this year, I just don't really like pressing in erratic ways unless it's needed. Now the width is on 45. Now the 45 width is mainly just due to the fact that the fullbacks try and tuck them in, make those through balls down the line just a little bit harder to do, and it just means that we basically don't concede as many easy opportunities. Just by narrowing it by 5, just keep those fullbacks just that little bit narrower and make sure we don't concede anything too crazy. The depth is on 71. Now 71 depth, basically we found it to be absolutely busted on the game. It's basically a way to press on FC 24, and it's one of them where no one's really sure how we found it, but 71 depth is absolutely broken. It basically presses for you and helps you win the ball back in those hard situations, especially high up the pitch. You win the ball back so well with it, and it also feels like when you press with it as well, it's not like one of those press tactics where players run around everywhere and it ends up being a bit unstructured. You still feel like you've got full control of the game. Now build-up play is on balanced. So main reason I've done this, to be honest, is because I didn't really want to use fast build-up. You can use fast build-up. It is decent with this formation, I won't lie. It's more just down to the fact of, for you guys more than me, I would say, I want it to be more accessible for you guys. I want it to be easier for you guys to use. I don't want to give you guys something that's overly complicated and just doesn't really work. Or not that it doesn't work, but sometimes skill can maybe bail you out over it compared to it actually being a solid tactic and formation. So I just didn't put fast build up on for that reason. But if you did want to use it and try and be a bit more creative and a bit more aggressive with this formation, fast build up does work. So up to you. Chance creation is on direct passing. Now that is obviously just because direct passing is absolutely busted. Obviously with the 4-4-2 with the 2 strikers and the 2 wide cams, we are going to be through ball orientated when we are attacking, and direct passing is the 100% way to go with that. Now what direct passing does is basically it makes your strikers who have better attacking positioning and sprint speed and pace and things like that, they make much better in behind runs. So as I said, it basically just makes your players make even better in behind runs, and we can use those through balls to an even better extent than we are already. Now my width is on 50. Now that is mainly because actually I do want a little bit of width with this. Like, it's not obviously crazy, it's still obviously just the 50 midway mark. But usually with a formation like this, I might just tuck it in a little bit. But I have actually been quite enjoying just having some wider options, especially in build-up play, and I've been a little bit more aggressive with my midfielders as well. Even though they are on certain instructions, which we'll see in a bit, it does just still feel like if I carry the ball forward with them, it just works. So 50 width for me. Then players in the box is on 6. Now I've mostly teetered between 5 to 7 range. It's been a while since I've used 5 actually, so I'd probably say more 6 to 7. And for this one, I've gone for 6, just because, like I said, we are trying to be, as much as we're trying to be attacking and we want to score a lot of goals, we do also want to be defensive and make sure we don't concede a lot either. So 6 players in the box, it is for that. Now, our corners and free kicks are both on 2 as well, mainly just due to the fact we don't want to concede any counter-attack goals. Do you want to have an amazing team like this? Well, head over to iggm.com to get the cheapest and most reliable coins on FC24 and use code CLUTCH at checkout for 5% off. Right guys, now on to the instructions. So we do have both strikers on stay central and get in behind. Now that is because I do want both of my strikers in those central areas. Like I said, I do have 2 wide cams and my width isn't that high either. So isn't that low, sorry, either, so they will cover those wide areas. I do want them both just on stay central, and then obviously I do have both of them as well on getting behind, because like we spoke about earlier on in the video, I do want them making those in behind runs, breaking, basically trying to break down our opponents, and so we can score as much as we can. Now I do have both of my wide cams on comeback on defense and get into the box for cross. Now they are on comeback on defense because when we are defending, I do want them to come back and help us defend our goal even more. But also I do want getting to the box for cross on as well, mainly due to the fact of basically I want them to be available for back post crosses, cutbacks, edge of the box passes, things like that. So as long as they're in and around that area, there'll be a threat, and it gives us more and more attacking options when we are going forward. Now I do have both of my CDMs on stay back while attacking cover centre. I would be tempted maybe to take one of them off stay back just because we are trying to be a little bit more aggressive with our midfielders. But generally speaking, I do usually just keep them on stay back cover centre, mainly just due to the fact of just wanting to be defensively sound and make sure we don't concede goals. This is more of a formation that as much as you will score a lot of goals with it, it's about also defending. Like we're going to have 2 wide cams who to come back and defend. It ends up basically defending like a deep line 4-4-2. And it works really well. You very rarely concede with it, especially if you know what you're doing defensively. Now, both of our centre backs, and our keeper are all on default instructions, and then we do have both fullbacks on stay back while attacking, mainly because we're just not trying to do anything too aggressive or attacking with our fullbacks. For me personally, I find it, apart from maybe some certain formations like the 4-1-2-1-2 and things like that, I do find it quite hard to really want to attack with my fullbacks. Mainly just because I just feel a bit too vulnerable in the wide areas with how good cutbacks and things like that are. So I do just have both of them on stay back while attacking. But yeah, guys, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, like I said, please drop a like, drop a comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.